Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay. I have one. Do you see all the name?
Let's try though. Let's still try. We want to...
What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday. No, win or lose, you are not late. I added an extra 5 minutes, 9:05, because I knew I would be late, and it was just the right amount of time. How is everyone doing? My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. If you're watching this live or you're catching a replay later on, I hope you've watched Marvel's What If, the first episode. I'm going to be talking about that episode today. If you don't mind spoilers, stick around. If you don't want to be spoiled, bookmark this, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check it out later on because it's a fantastic show. What I normally do on the channel, if you don't know me, I like to collect action figures and talk about toys. And a lot of the times it comes along with really great TV shows and movies. And in this case, it's TV show spun off from a lot of movies. And if that's something that you're interested in, if you're interested in collecting, action figures, other collectibles, or talking about shows like this, feel free to give this channel a subscription, hit the notification, and you'll know when we're live. Or if you're on Twitch, I'm available on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/toyingaround. You can catch me on Instagram at toyingaround, or the website, toyingaround.ca. I've said that name way too many times already. It sounds weird, and I hate the name already. What I normally do when I chat about stuff like this, I like to bring on a friend of mine who's also a fellow Canadian collector, Mr. Troy from Troy Collects Toys. What's going on, Troy?
Hey, how are you tonight?
Does my mic sound good, better?
Yeah, sounds.
I think yesterday I had it in I had the wrong mic selected, and the whole day the whole night everyone said, "You sound weird."
I think you sound like the same as we always do, I think.
Yoko says yes. I hope that means yes, I sound better. What's up, Fred? What's up, Yoko? Watching on Twitch. Thank you, everyone over there. Twitch, shout outs to 4 Gathers and Oatmeal Man 2287 for the follows. I totally missed those yesterday. YouTuber. So Troy, you collect toys. You help me in the hunt here in the area. What else? What are you up to? What do you do? Let people know.
Well, I'm on Instagram at Troy Collects Toys, or you could find me on YouTube at Troy Collects Toys. I guess I'm a YouTuber now. But I mean, like I'm trying, but like it's popping off a little bit. I don't know. Today I had fun hunting some toys around town. I mean, I picked up Ultron.
Nice.
Look at that shine on that.
There's a pile of toys I opened last night. Here's Ultron. Oh, something cracked. Here he is.
I found Baroness. I didn't want to get this figure, but I kind of looked at the head sculpts and I was like, okay, it looks decent. Picked up Maestro
from GameStop
today.
Canada.
From GameStop Canada, spent $300 today because I got this.
Damn, that's nice. That's very nice. Do you have one?
This was my first. So
it's nice. It's a nice display piece. For people who don't know, that is the NECA street scene diorama. It's like this big by this tall. There's 2 levels, and it's meant to be a display stand kind of, but obviously it's really, really good for toy photography and whatnot.
Yeah, so I'm super ecstatic about that because I'll probably use that for some reviews, display stands. I mean, my setup back there, I don't know if you see it, but it really could use some sprucing up. So, I mean, you can see my display of toys over here, my review stand over there, but it's a mess. So, yeah, so I did find that in the wild, actually. This was actually my pre-order that I didn't pick up for months, this NECA display.
And they kept it for you? I thought they keep it for like a week.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I just remember seeing it canceled, and I was like, okay, I'm in the middle of a pandemic. I got to figure out my priorities. I don't think a
it's
display
$150, right?
Yeah, of course. So I was like, I don't think I'll get this today. And then I went to my EB Games and I just looked up and I saw it and I was like, oh man. And you know when the EB Games has or GameStop has like a shelf that's like
Yeah.
high and then like no one looks up there? It was there. So
It's like
I
all
was
the
like,
video games that have like the deluxe box sets
Yep.
or whatever toys that aren't selling that are huge boxes, they stack. It's like a overstock almost.
yep. So I was like, can I get that? And like, oh, that was actually yours. I was like, oh.
Embarrassing.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll take that. I'll take it now 4 months later. So yeah, that was my day today. I picked up some, I don't know, Sailor Moon like playing cards. So there's actually like Sailor Moon cards, like playing cards you could play with like, I don't know, just
They're just called
normal
playing
card
cards.
games.
I know.
I don't know. Because like
I know
I have
no one
Pokemon
really played
cards.
playing cards. Like, when was the last time anyone played a card game? Unless you still play poker and stuff.
Card
No,
game
like-
right here.
A deck of
Yu-Gi-Oh.
playing cards. That's why you don't know
Oh.
the name of regular playing cards.
Because
You're like, what
you
are these
know,
numbers all over it? Oh, my cyber.
yeah, I'm just a weeb, so I play all the Japanese games. So, anyways, enough about me. How are you today, Kevin?
I'm exhausted. What's up? Why aren't you in bed? Your bottle's in the backpack. Then you need to go back to bed. Please. You have water in your bottle in the kitchen. Love you. She's mumbling something at me as she's walking away. She learned it from her mother. What's up, everyone in the chat? How are you doing? Tonight, thank you for joining us on a Friday night. We have Darth Gutierrez, Toy Rensu, 1,000 miles per hour. Miles, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Miles likes my hat. This is a Bitter Asian Dude exclusive hat. You can get it at bitterasiandude.com. Is there an ink? It's from Paul's website. Go get a hat. Thank you so much. It was great meeting you today. We have Paulie Myth says, yay. Wait, I read that wrong. Woo, Fry Yay stream. 796 Studios in the house. Smash Lab Creations. Toy Rensu is here. Winger Lose. Mr. Jones. Troy. What movie? Oh, you went to watch Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, I watched
Very
last
nice.
night. Free Guy.
Very nice. Marcus Yee is here. Cerebral Deep. Mackerson, how are you? Nav North says, nice hat. Thank you. Yes, it is a very nice hat. I didn't really get any toys today because I was busy out with the family. I did get this hat. I opened all my new toys yesterday. Yesterday was Unboxing Thursdays. If you're not familiar with this channel, every Thursday I sit down with a friend and open up some action figures and stuff, and we discuss this hobby. Yesterday I got, or 2 days ago, I got this box set with the Canada Amazon exclusive Wolverine box set. It is empty right now, but I received this early set from Hasbro. Thank you so much, because I had the opportunity to reveal one of the figures. So all the stuff is still here in front of me. They were standing, and I came down, got this started. I just knocked them over, and that's how things work on YouTube. The behind the scenes that you don't know about. 796 Studios channel member says, Troy, DM me. I'll send you some flight stands for your YouTube channel.
Ooh, yay. Okay.
Now you've made it, YouTuber.
I made it, guys. I made it.
Mackerson says, play big too. I don't have anyone to play that with, and the kids don't. Do you know how to play? It's like a Chinese card game.
I honestly don't even know how to play card games, except
You didn't even know what playing cards were. It's what Gambit throws. In the context that you'll understand, it's what Gambit throws. You know those things?
Those things. Okay, awesome.
You're like, oh, he's not. You mean he's not throwing Pokemon cards?
No, he's not throwing Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
We have Plasty is here. Plasty is going to be on Unboxing Thursdays in 2 weeks. Very excited for that. Omar Vasquez in the house. Hello there. She wants to know why you didn't invite her back on. No, she should be going to sleep. Great White North Empire, how are you? Welcome. So Friday night, we're here to talk about What If. What If came out this Wednesday, and there used to be a comic series for Marvel Comics of the same title, What If, where it's like they take one small event and just, if something changed, here's an alternate timeline, alternate story that what would have happened, what that story writer their take on what would have happened, and that's one of the things that I really like alternate timelines. I know Star Wars had a comic like that called Star Wars Infinities, where it's like, what would have happened if Luke missed that shot on the Death Star? Because it was that 3 meters wide, whatever angle that he had to shoot it through. What would have happened if he missed? And there's they have a series for each one of the original trilogy movies. So all that stuff is really cool to me. And so that's what this What If series is based on. It's animated, so it's a really good way to tell these kind of stories. And it's cool that they can use they draw on the MCU movies, like specific plot points, and branch off of that. And they also have some actors returning, which is really fantastic. And the best part about this is, as a channel that talks about action figures and toys, we already know that Hasbro Marvel Legends, their Disney Plus Wave 2, will already have we'll already know what characters are in Wave 2 and what we're getting action figures for. So that's, I get to talk about both things at the same time. We'll look at some of the toys later on. Troy already showed off some of his hauls this week, but we'll talk about some of the figures later. I really wanted to show real quick, my friend Mr. Jones did this.
Oh, I saw that today. It's beautiful.
And it's just his style altogether with the lighting. I don't know what the word description is. The style, shading.
His aesthetic is beautiful.
Yeah. And it does look like this looks like it's right out of the show, the same style. So please check out my friend Mr. Jones, incredible artist on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Like, look at this stuff. Just very cool. Yeah, so go check that out. So the first episode was based on, it stems from the MCU movie, The First Avenger, where when Steve Rogers is getting into that chamber to get his super soldier serum, a very small throwaway line is when Dr. Erskine was like, "Hey, you want to go up to the gallery?" And Peggy's like, "Okay, sure." And she goes. But you have Watu describing at the beginning of the episode, which I think is a really cool way to introduce it. It's like, here's the moment. They break it down. Like, here's the moment where she's like, "No, I'll stay." Like her and Steve have like a longer look at each other, and that's when she decides to stay. And that's where this whole thing branches off from. How do you feel about like the points that they use where like there are similar things? I went back and I started to watch First Avenger yesterday. I didn't get to finish it, but there was a lot of stuff callbacks that I saw. Do you remember? Like, did you do anything like that? You're muted, my friend.
I always mute myself. Sorry. I didn't watch First Avenger, but I did watch some videos of like just explaining about the episode, and really like showed in detail like, oh, this is what happened. Oh, this is the exact same scene as before. And like, so it was really cool to see the callbacks that this episode did, and it really made me love Captain Carter. I don't know, everyone loves Captain Carter, but I'm obsessed with Captain Carter. I think he's probably one of the best things they've done in the MCU recently. It's so great to have like, I don't want to say an original character, but like kind of an original character now.
It's a twist. It's a variant.
Yeah, a variant. And I love these like Loki like things that they show in the beginning, like if you watch the glass like shatter, it looks like the streams of like from Loki. So I don't know, I love this whole like interconnected web, and I love when, what's his name, was Nyatu, anyways, the Watcher.
Watu?
I love when he
Dan
Watu?
Young, the Watcher, Watu. It's not Nyatu.
Watu?
I think you're thinking of Gnocchi.
I'm thinking of a Pokemon called Natu. So I just like when the Watcher says, "This is the moment that changed everything." So I love how they actually break down that one moment that changes everything. And for me, I think this episode was like 10 out of 10. It was fantastic.
So off the bat, first episode is, you feel like it's the best thing they've done in recent times, and that's factoring Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and WandaVision and Black Widow.
Yeah, do you know what? It's not that I don't. Okay, so I love the other stuff. Don't get me
Mm.
wrong. I just love how we take a little concept and we change it a bit. And I love this what if. And I love how even with I love how Loki opened the doors for these things, and I
Yeah,
love how everything is connected. And that's the greatest thing about the MCU, that everything is connected. And
always
I
connected.
always connected. And I love how you see this in this episode, and you see that, oh, I don't know. I just loved it. I just love this show. Hopefully I'll love it more, but I probably might change my tune when the zombie episode happens. But but I could appreciate this. And I mean, my favorite series so far has been Loki, because
Okay.
I love this whole multiverse thing and like different things you could do. But it was great. It was a great first episode, and is a great. I loved how they put this episode first, and I know she's. Oh, this might be a spoiler, but I know she might be coming back in later episodes, as teased in the trailer. So don't flame me. Watch the trailer. But I just liked how she's probably going to be the connective tissue in most of these episodes. So
Mhm.
I absolutely loved it.
Do you think we will see like a very explicit tie-in to the events of Loki, and how
Mm,
at the end of the series or season one,
I
there are all
don't
the
think
different
I don't
multiverses.
I don't think we're going to see like direct tie-ins with Loki. I
Yeah.
think we're going to see like, like obviously there was a ripple effect at the end of Loki that made kind of this happen. But I don't think they're going to like really reference Loki at all about this. I don't know. I just think that like this is branching off of Loki, and now it's creating a separate thing, and maybe we'll come back around, maybe season 2 of Loki, and maybe we'll see these characters come into that season. But that's what I think.
Yeah, for sure. Um, let's see. What was the comment here? Torrensu says, anyone feel like it could have been longer? Shout outs to Torrensu, channel member here in the Butter Nation. Thank you for tuning in. Um, for me, it felt like the beginning was really rushed. And I
Mhm.
don't mean rushed in a bad way. I think they were trying to get to like, okay, so here's what's going to happen. Here's all the different things. Here's what's going to happen. Then I'm going to bring you to like the meat of the story, because we only
Mhm.
have 20 some odd minutes. But then it does seem like I it could have been longer. And does that just speak to how good it is, because we want more? We're like, I want to see what else happened.
I
Um,
think this was the perfect length for me, because if we wanted a longer, it would have been just a movie for me. It's I didn't want it to be like a full retelling of
mhm,
the first Avenger. So I feel like they packed as much as they can in
right.
that 30 like 25 minutes, and they really highlighted. For me, it was like a highlight reel. So it was a highlight of things that happened, and I like that a lot, because we all know the story of what happened in Captain America: The First Avenger, but these
Mhm.
are the things that made this story a little bit different. So I like that a lot. So it was a jam-packed first episode, but it was a hell of a good first episode.
Yeah. I mean, I like the callback. She hits the punching bag and smashes it off the
Mhm,
the chain like Cap did. And there are a lot of almost like shot for shot recreations,
mhm.
like the serum going in, how they have the subject laying down into whatever that chair is, the machine, um, the red skull. It's just it's really cool that they not only do they reference those points, they actually recreate it with the same shot, but they animate it. And I'm glad.
Yeah,
It's cool to see Howard Stark again. He's quite a character.
that
I
was
love
my
to see
favorite
the
scene,
actor.
actually. That scene where he takes his glasses off and looks at what's
Yeah,
happening in that chamber, and it was like exact same like replica. It was the exact same scene as we saw in Captain America. So I was like, damn, this is so good. And I gotta say, Marvel Studios, you know, I didn't think that, like we've seen all the Marvel cartoons, and that was a Marvel studio, but this really elevated animation for me. I really
Yeah.
liked this animation style. I know a lot of people, I saw a lot of comments going, oh, it's a bit jarring at first, but like this animation style is like, have you watched Castlevania on Netflix?
I watched season 1, I think.
So for me, it reminds me of Castlevania and their like design and like how they animate it. And it was, for me, it was so good. And there's some points in this episode where I just go, wow, this is animation. This is so
Yeah.
good. Like there's parts where like the cars are coming and you can see the lights. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is fantastic. And the emblem of the Hydra logo, it just pops up and
On
it's
his
just
car.
on his car. And I was like, this
Yeah.
is so good. And just like how the Tesseract looked when he takes it out. And it was just like, this is beautiful. And also, I have to say this, the sound as well. These were like pure MCU sounds, things we've heard in the MCU, like the Tesseract, like kind of like, you know, whatever it does. And like the shield.
Tesseract.
But, yeah, it's Tesseractin. But, you know, I thought like they could have, like a lot of shows and like when they're recreating something, they go, it's not like the best sounding stuff, but I guess like the sound was amazing. And I don't know, for me, this was so good. And so it was such an elevated animated show. And
Yeah.
that's how I feel. And I'm hoping this continues throughout the series because this was such a home run of an episode. And I think that like Marvel Studios, like they knocked it out of the park, and we have to give them credit for
Look
this
at all those
amazing
sports references. That's baseball. 796 Studios. If you didn't know that, those are baseball analogies.
I mean, I played baseball all my life, so not really. Maybe for until I was like 12. But anyways, but you know, I think that they really did a really good job. And yes, Yoko, I think we did see Peggy in the background of Loki. I don't. I personally think it could have been like something in a timeline that I don't know from a different timeline, but I think that was Peggy.
What was that
100%.
about? I saw someone post about it, and I thought it was some sort of clickbait, so I didn't read into it. Where was she allegedly cited?
So in the first or second episode, I don't know which one it was, but we see like Loki opens the door when he escapes, and he's kind of like looking around, and another door opens, and a TVA agent comes out, and there's a woman who looks like Peggy. I personally think this is Peggy from Agent Carter, like the Agent Carter series. And that's, for me, was like, oh, that this show doesn't exist anymore because it's technically not canon anymore.
Is it
and
not?
Well, a lot of the Marvel Studios, sorry, the
the
Marvel
TV
TV stuff is kind of like they kind of deviated its own path. Like if you look at Agents of Shield, they kind of did like the last like 3 seasons, they didn't care about what was happening in the TV show.
Yeah.
And they just was like, oh, we're going to do our own thing. And you've seen already like Marvel Studios kind of like slowly retconning a few things. So I feel like this is like Loki retconning Agent Carter, so that Agent Carter does not exist anymore from that TV show. So that's how I see it. And this Agent Carter now is the Agent Carter we're going to be seeing continuously. I mean, like that Agent Carter we've seen in the real MCU is the correct MCU.
Not the
Carter.
variant. She's the original.
She's the original, but I feel like that Agent Carter show is the variant, and that's why she was to get pruned. It was a good show. It was a very good show. So yeah, I can't, I don't know. I just personally don't think it's canon anymore because of, you know, the whole division. And if you read about Ike Perlmutter and what he was trying to do with like the Marvel stuff, like we've had this conversation before, right, Kevin?
Yeah.
Like Kevin Feige really took control of the TV side, and now he's like only doing like Marvel Studios projects and such. So it's a very fascinating read. I personally think that, you know, that Peggy Carter from Agents of Shield is that one from Loki. She got pruned. Now this this Peggy Carter is the Peggy Carter we're going to follow into the MCU and beyond.
All right. Shout outs to Polymyths Resub. Thank you so much on Twitch, and Navnorth for following over on Twitch. Appreciate you. Okay, so from the art and the early promos and seeing the action figure, we knew like the Marvel Legend, they pointed out it's a little bit taller than some of the other characters. But I feel like I didn't really get a sense of how tall and how like commanding her presence was until the moment she stepped out of the chamber, and she's just, you know, specific choice of words, almost hulking over everyone. And that was the moment when I'm like, oh, her and Steve Rogers, he's like still super tiny. So it's just, there's this one, and I sent it to a few people. There's this one really stupid Borat quote from years ago when he says to this couple that's like a big fat guy, and his wife is like a taller lady or a skinnier lady, and he looks at them. He's like, "You are fat, you are tiny," and then they're just laughing. He's like, and then he goes, "He will crush you when you do the." And he goes like this, and that's the first thing that popped in my head. I'm like, she's a giant. She's an Amazon. It's so cool. So that was the first thing I thought of. And obviously other people are just like, their minds went to the Futurama Death by Snoo Snoo. But I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. She like, you really finally get a sense of how that process, how much her size in relativity to the other people in the room. Like I didn't really get that sense until that moment. And it was cool, man. And then I'm just like, man, I really can't wait to get these toys in hand and really see if you can depict and show how like strong of a character it is. And I'm really excited for that.
Me too. I think this Captain Carter what if figure from Marvel Legends is probably my top Marvel Legends figure that I'm anticipating, because that figure, oh man. And can I just say, I forgot to pre-order this from GameStop Canada. I forgot to do it online, and I only discovered this maybe like 2 days ago, and I pre-ordered her, and I was like, oh my god, I hope I get her. But I'm so excited for this figure. The only thing I wish they added in the package was the sword. Yes. And I have a theory on that sword. Do you want to hear the theory now, or should we wait until later?
Go for it.
So I think I wrote it on my notes. 1 second. I think that the sword is the Sword of Might created by Merlin, and I think she picked it up, and that's where she became Captain Britain or Captain Carter. Anyways, I think this is what it is. I think that's the Sword of Might.
Have it in that lab?
I mean, why does Red Skull have a lot of things, right? But
he's a collector, like us.
He is a collector, just like us. We collect a lot of things, and I can't wait to take the sword that was shown by the Hasbro team. Yeah, that random sword. Yep, and give it to Captain Carter.
The Excalibur. That was Excalibur, wasn't it? Or was it confirmed? I don't recall.
I think it was Excalibur, but it could have been the Sword of Might. I don't know. I need a sword for my Captain Carter.
He's just going like this.
Just you need a sword. This is how a sword.
How Troy fights. I really like. I do you know if that was the exact same line from Nick Fury? I don't know if they pulled a movie quote or soundbite, or did they get?
It was. So in what's it called? In Avengers, he goes, "Sir, please put down the scepter." And in this, he goes, "Sir, please, ma'am, please put down the sword." Okay. So it's the exact same line, but just change the weapon. And I thought that was really clever of them. So,
and our friend Jason, I'm going to give Jason credit for this. Obviously, he brought up a very cool point. And I think I agree. So Peggy Carter pushes back this squid into the portal, comes back out 70 years later, still slicing it to bits. It's like one fluid motion. She comes out, and it's Nick Fury, as we know Nick Fury to be, and Hawkeye greeting her, as opposed to Loki in the original MCU version. But what Jason said was, He would have liked to seen how the world changed, how it was affected after having a female uh, Captain Super Soldier. So he thought, and his way of saying like how we could have seen the changes, like having a female director of Shield, which would be cool. I'm not saying that would be the exact same. Like that's definitely what would happen with a female super soldier, like this iconic superhero. But there really was no payoff for that to say like, hey, you know what? Cap was an icon for all these people in the MCU. Now, if we have a female super soldier, what became of that? How did that change the world? We didn't really get a sense of that. And I think I agree with Jason. That would have, if that was the one scene that you show of her coming back and then ending it, be like, oh, of course we won the war, but like maybe some actual changes from that point forward.
I 100% agree. I feel like, we've seen this awesome character and her impact on the war, and there should have been something. I agree. Like maybe Hawkeye could have been a woman. Maybe Nick Fury could have been a woman. I wish there was, and like she said, she was fighting to be in that room. I wish that they showed a woman in that room at the end, because it showed her, taking charge like Peggy did. So I do agree 100% with Jason. And Jason, we miss you. And that point was spot on.
Yeah, I promised him I would bring it over. And this isn't some like, oh, they're being woke, Nick Fury should be a woman. Like, no, like I want, and if there was a way to illustrate how having a female super soldier affected that timeline, and that was the scene that they have, what would be the opportunity in there to show some changes. So but like we mentioned, if it kind of went by quickly because I wanted more. Do you think there's more? How many was it? 9 episodes, I believe.
There's 9 episodes. So they kicked one of the episodes to season 2 because of COVID. But if you watch one of the trailers, you see Captain Carter's back and she's talking to Doctor Strange. So we'll definitely see her more. And we know, if you don't want spoilers, don't listen to me. But we've heard that she
is going such a mocking tone.
Because
we're talking about it. It's.
I know, but the internet sometimes just like goes, "Why are you talking about this?" But like we don't know, not confirmed. But she might be showing up in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and people are like, I don't know if you've seen this, but have you seen people on Twitter petitioning for her to get her own show or own movie? And I personally am on board with this idea. Hopefully we do see her in a bigger capacity later on, but apparently from what the directors were saying and the storyboard, or sorry, not the storyboard, the screenwriter was saying that she is going to be the connective tissue between this season and the next season. So
interesting.
She's not going anywhere. We're gonna get more Captain Carter, which I'm so excited about.
That's awesome.
But oh yeah, me too. I'm so excited about this. I think she's so awesome, and I just want people to embrace her. And I know people have, but there was a lot of like people who were negatively talking about her on social media. What was it? On the Captain America Twitter page, they changed it to Captain Carter, and everyone was complaining. They're like, not my captain, not my captain. But it's like, this doesn't have to be your captain. This is a different version of a captain. Like, your captain is always going to be your captain, but this is a what if story. This is a different kind of character. So I don't know. There's a lot of haters out there, but there's a lot of lovers out there too. That sounded dirty.
Yeah,
but
I try not to. I try not to pay attention to that stuff. Just kind of puts me into this weird path in my day, and it's just a negative vibe all day. So I try not to pay attention to that stuff.
You know me, Kevin. Like, as soon as I see a troll, I always talk back and fight back. You've seen it.
For sure.
I'm always just I always call them out, but I I think that she now has a place in our universe, and like she
Well, I
has.
mean, I wanted her figure from the 2-pack
That's an amazing
from
figure as well.
from the get-go,
hmm
right? So we're going to be getting more of
I
this.
just want that Captain Carter figure so much, and I don't know when you're showing this picture, but the picture that Ryan Ting posted today. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
We'll get to that in a second. Let's talk real
stunning.
quick about the Steve Rogers character. I didn't put it two and two together at first when they first showed the trailer. Like there's the Hydra Stomper, or that Steve Rogers would be the one piloting this thing, so that he's still part of the story and he's still contributing and fighting. I think that's really cool to show that, like, hey, it wasn't the serum that made him Captain America. Like he was, well, it was, but he was chosen for his qualities, his character, right? And rewatching First Avenger again, it was the Doctor kind of watching him creepily at the Stark Fair or Stark Expo, and seeing how Steve was when they threw the grenade. When Tommy Lee Jones threw the grenade, Steve was the one that jumped on it. So those characters, he still wanted to fight, and they were still able to include him. So I thought that was awesome. What did you think of Steve Rogers Iron Man, like
Hydra Stomper.
Hydra Stomper, of course.
Ryan Ting actually had to correct me because I posted Hydra Smasher, and he's like, no, Hydra Stomper, and I was like, oh shoot, I got to change this. But I think honestly, I love him as Hydra Stomper. We know that Steve had greatness in him.
Yeah.
Like we know when he threw when Tommy Lee Jones. Anyways, when that character threw that grenade, we saw him just unselfishly jump and
selflessly.
Oh my god, my English is not my first language, guys.
Not
but he jumps on that grenade and he protects everyone. But did you watch in the first Avenger when you see him throw that grenade?
Yeah.
Peggy actually jumps for it too.
Yeah, she takes a step towards it.
Yep. So I love how we see that as well, and kind of like, whoa. And yeah, I honestly, even Dr. Erskine said Steve has greatness. And what did he say about something?
He points at his heart.
Heart, and he says like,
that was
greatness.
Deep, man. He was dying, and he was like,
yeah.
Go. And then and then Chris Evans went to go chase down that assassin. Man, that was an awesome scene.
It was such a good scene. And like, I love Captain America, the first Avenger. A lot of people don't like it for some reason. It's always low on the tier lists.
I like World War II stuff, so it's up there for me.
Yeah, same. I love period pieces. I love movies that are period pieces in general. So first, like, I loved that movie, and I loved it's what it meant and what it set up. So for me, I love that you can not give Steve Rogers the serum, but he's always going to be a good person regardless. And he's always going to be a good person regardless of anything that happens. You've seen, and even in this episode, you see him do things where he's like, no, I'll do this. I'm going to come back. I'm going to help you. I'm going to make sure that, and it's great. And I loved that he actually got to be an Iron Man character. Like, I love that how, what's his name? Howard Stark. I love how Howard Stark made a suit for Steve. Yeah. And I just liked how we get to see a different side of him as well, because,
I love when they said, Howard, are you going to go in? He's like, I'm not really much of a, and he does this little mousy, like, boxing type thing. The animation, that part was hilarious when they're going around the table.
I loved Howard in this as well.
Yeah, he's like, very good comic relief, which he really was.
When they're about to kiss, and Howard's like, hey, what's going on over here? And then they kind of just look like, I don't know, it just looked really cool. And like, there's like like that animated circle that kind of like zooms into them and like fades
Yeah.
into a different scene.
Isn't
I
that
just
like
love
the end
it.
of Looney Tunes when they
Yeah,
normally do that?
exactly. It was like the
Yeah.
end of Looney Tunes. And what I like about this style of animation, going back to that, I weirdly they look like Disney characters. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've
No,
noticed, but like,
it's a very Disney vibe, which makes sense. It's an animated
yep,
show that's going to be on Disney Plus. It's very much they're expecting kids to watch it, which is why
exactly.
when Steve Rogers got shot point blank, there was like no blood
No
and he's
blood.
fine. Like, who is this? 50 Cent? How is he surviving this? Everyone else in
Exactly.
that lab got shot and killed. Like Tommy Lee
Right?
Jones, his character
Smoked.
was in there,
Like
one shot.
I love how he get like we literally see him get shot and there's not even a bullet hole, there's no
Yeah,
blood, nothing. But this they can't do anything because it's a Disney
right.
show and they have to be family friendly. But again, going back to that Disney aesthetic, and I really love that Disney aesthetic. I love how everyone had like the rosy cheeks. If you go
Mhm.
back, you see everyone has a rosy cheek. Everyone has like that Disney-esque kind of like look to them. So I don't know. This show is literally ticking everything, like ticking every box for me in forms of the aesthetic, story, characters, and character development. I this I could
Yeah, she was
I could
Peggy
keep
definitely
on talking
killed
about it.
people though. Like the people were dead for
Oh,
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Like when she throws a motorcycle at them and just goes whoop. And I gotta say, what is it with the MCU and these captain characters just throwing vehicles at people? Like we've seen it multiple times. Like Captain America in Age of Ultron takes a literally his like his motorcycle he's riding
Yeah.
and he like
She
throws it in.
chucks it at him. By the way,
Yeah,
do
and
you have that Captain America on the motorcycle?
I don't.
Dude, I've been looking for and it goes for like stupid money now. I want
Yeah.
that because it's World War II kind of aesthetic and
Mhm. I want Captain
motorcycle.
Carter now writing it.
Yeah. 796 Studio says it really did look like Disney animated movie. Pretty sure Gaston was in one scene. I have to highlight that because Gaston is my favorite Disney song to sing at home. It's the best.
Really?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I have like the melody in my head, but I don't have the lyrics. Something like Gaston. Da. Anyways, I'm not gonna sing anymore. But
All right. What's your chat? What is your favorite Disney song to sing? Because Gaston is kind of a jerk, and he definitely would be canceled in 2021.
definitely.
It's a fun song fun as hell to
So
sing.
let's deviate from this path, from this timeline. But my
Real
favorite
quick.
Disney song is "Let It Go" from Frozen.
That's fun too.
I don't know. I love that song. I love the Frozen like soundtrack. But anyways, but people like to get killed by motorcycles in the MCU, just like
Yeah.
like people like getting their hands chopped off in the MCU as well.
Speaking of which, there's another little Easter egg in there when it was cool that they included Bucky and the Howling Commandos and all those dudes and some of the return of the voice actors. But oh shoot, Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. Hell yeah, Fred. That's my #1 hype song, dude.
So good.
Best training montage and song ever. Let's go.
So good. Be Our Guest is another good one.
Be
Oh
Our
my
Guest
gosh.
is a banger for sure.
I love Be Our Guest.
But when they recreate the scene where Bucky is kind of hanging off of the train and Captain Carter picks him up, she's like, "Oh, you almost tore my arm off," and he like motions to the same arm that gets torn off in regular MCU. So I thought that was cool. That was something that me, you and Jason discussed in our group chat. It's like, when did Bucky get his powers in the first Avenger? Right, because he wasn't in the cells with the rest of the commandos. Steve finds him in another room. He was reciting something. Was he?
He was being. I don't know what he was being reciting, but I know he was getting like tested on. Like he was being tested for something, but he didn't get his powers until he like was the Winter Soldier. So
when did he get his powers? Because it's that, they rescue him. They go back to camp. They're like, "Hey, everyone, round of applause for Captain America," or whatever. They're chatting in the bar before they go into the train mission. Then they go into the train mission. He falls into the mountain, river, whatever, and it's like he comes back as the Winter Soldier with the Russians. So
Didn't
that's
we
why
s-
I asked Jason, like, did he get it? When did he get experimented? Like,
I
because why
think
didn't he say anything at that time? There were
I
scenes there where he had a
don't
chance to say something.
know. But I remember in Winter Soldier, there was like flashbacks to when he was being like he was found and being experimented on and then put on ice. Like it's one of those was a quick montage scene, but I do remember that
But it's still
happening.
Hydra.
It was still Hydra, yeah, still
But
Hydra.
it's like, so imagine getting captured by Hydra and then escaping and then falling and then getting captured by Hydra again.
Again.
Is that what happened?
That's basically what happened.
Because
I think,
he's just
yeah.
kind of, you know, comic relief with some one-liners here in
Mhm.
episode 1.
I
Well,
love
there's a quote here. Hey, who ordered the calamari?
Yeah. I mean, did they have calamari back then? Is that more of a recent dish? I don't know. I'm not a person who makes food.
Another person who makes food.
I'm
What's
not.
that word? What's that word? That guy when you go to a restaurant and he puts food together. He has a title. The guy who makes food.
Oh man, not the waiter, is it a chef? A chef? Something like that. But yeah, no. I loved that how even though his part was so small in this, not like wasn't huge. I love how Sebastian Stan did come back for this and did voice that character. I really was I love how Sebastian Stan is so into the Winter Soldier character and that he's like, yeah, I'll come back. And I was kind of disappointed, even though like I don't think people could really tell, but like that guy wasn't Chris Evans, obviously. But I did like that some original characters did come back. Like, I don't know if you knew, but have you watched that one shot of Agent Carter?
I don't recall. I did. It was a while ago.
It was super long ago. It was so Colonel Flynn first debuted was on that Agent Carter one shot, and I love how even though he was on a one shot, he came back for this role and had an expanded role in this episode. So I really like that and how it's still keeping in sort of a continuity, and that Brad Whitford, who did play that character, came back and played it. And I just loved the dynamic between those two. Even in the one shot, like he did not like Peggy being there. And I liked how it kind of was full circle where he didn't want her there in the beginning of this episode. And then she goes to him, he's like, well, you don't have to be in this room. And I was like, damn, Peggy. Yes, Peggy. So I just loved the whole callback to it as well.
Yeah, I always remember that guy as the guy from Billy Madison.
Was he in Billy Madison?
Yeah, he's the bad guy who tries to take over the company from Adam Sandler's dad.
Oh yes. Okay, why I was thinking Happy Gilmore for a second.
I always confuse those two movies. They are very
always, but he's also the dad in Get Out.
Yeah,
if you've watched that. So every time I watch him now, I'm like, ooh, I'm creeped out by you a little bit. So, but yeah, I love that actor. I love how he reprised his role. I loved how even Dum Dum Dugan reprised his role, and I loved that what's his name? That guy who played Red Skull in Infinity War played Red Skull in this as well.
Earlier in the chat, because it wasn't Lord of the Rings guy anymore.
Well, apparently Hugo Weaving didn't like the character in general, but then he also just hated the makeup process, so he swore never to come back and play the Red Skull again. So I was like, okay, well, that's
Red
fine.
Skull
We don't
really pink in first Avenger. It was very vibrant.
Yeah, but I felt like that movie in general had like kind of like a filter on it. There was like a filter,
just like because it's in the past.
Yeah, for me, like I was watching a few scenes from the first Avenger, and I was like, "Why is there a filter?"
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes, a food assembler. That is correct. I gotta make sure that my
It
Uber
was Sebastian
Eats.
Stan who did the Bucky voice in the
It
animated.
was. Yep. There's ADR where he's like in the booth and he's like actually saying these lines. So YouTube it. He's there. He's doing it. And I mean, like, he's going to have a bigger role in that zombie episode. So like, why not just get him to say a few lines for this episode, right? So
I just picture someone just giving him a bunch of one-liners, like just read these, and they're just less funny as he reads them one after another. And then
Yep.
he's just like, "Hey, who ordered the calamar? What is this? Get me out of this booth."
Yeah, I could see that too. But you know what? I love Sebastian Stan and I love his devotion to the MCU. And I'm hoping we get more Sebastian Stan in the
Oh,
future.
for
I
sure.
mean, he's still alive, right? Yes.
The coolest thing about this is like, imagine being a writer and just like, hey, we have this now. We can do whatever we want. Just like try to make the story.
Mhm.
There's some similarities, but what if this happened? Well, yeah, that's the title, idiot. Like, you know, just change something here and there, tweak it around, keep some stuff. It's just the possibilities. I think that's my favorite part, and there's going to be more stuff.
Mhm.
Something about Cap. I think it's cool if anyone ever doubted, like, oh, Peggy was just like, if they thought in the first Avenger, you know, maybe she just thought he's a super soldier. Like that was the attraction. Like, no, she's the super soldier. He's a skinny dude. But you know what? It's still there. It's the connection is still there. And I thought it's cool that they maintain that. It shows
Yeah,
that it's like a real deep connection, which is a really cool backstory for it.
Of course. And like that's like the basis of Captain America was his love story, right? Like he loved Peggy, she loved him, and I loved how that whole like dance kind of comment was still
for sure. You have
floating
to keep
around.
That. You have to keep that.
Right here, guys. See this? That heart right here? It grew a little bit bigger.
I really liked in First Avenger when they showed footage of Cap on a mission and he had Peggy's picture in his watch or compass. Sorry. I thought that would have been cool if they had something there in this, but I completely forgot that during the propaganda montage for First Avenger, he was in movies. Like Steve Rogers filmed Captain America movies for the war effort. So I completely forgot about that. It's like, oh, and then he has movie experience.
He does. And didn't he punch Hitler in one of those?
He's like, "Are you ready for this?" Yes, I punched Hitler over 200 times. And then the commandos are like, "What?" But he said that line with the straightest like deadpan face. Like, how I punched Hitler over 200 times. I love it.
I gotta watch it again. Oh man, I'm really tempted to watch the first Avenger again. I did an MC. Why is it weird?
No, like it's weird. First Avenger and Winter Soldier are like in my top MCU.
Oh yeah, 100%. Winter Soldier. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, this changes the MCU. What's happening? I love this. I love this movie. It's such a good it flipped. For me, Winter Soldier flipped the superhero genre on its head because it was like a spy movie, and I liked how we've never seen that before. But now we're like 23 movies in, 24 movies in. Nothing could replicate. Anyways, nothing could match. I'm having trouble with words tonight.
You should have done some vocal warm-ups before this.
I know. I was laying in bed.
Thank you, Nerdy Curious.
Replicate. Words are very hard.
I selected the wrong comment.
Anyways, I like how we're I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Words are hard tonight, guys. Words are super hard.
Yes. Torrensu says, wasn't it stage plays? Yeah, he went from state to state and he did like shows to get people to buy bonds, but I think that he did like actual movies because they're in a theater and someone's watching his actual movie, so it wasn't just the stage stuff.
Was it the scene that you're talking about where he's like he's being filmed and he's looking at Peggy's thing and he closes it, but Peggy's actually watching it?
Yeah, and she's next to Tommy Lee Jones, and Tommy Lee Jones is like,
Yes.
ooh.
Yeah. What do we think of Marvel now keeping Shang-Chi in theaters for a while before putting it on Disney Plus? Do you want my hot take on this? Because it's
You
kind
don't
of
need to ask for permission, Troy. This is why I have you here.
oh well. I always have to ask for permission. I feel like I need to, but I think that Shang-Chi is going to go to Disney Plus because of what's happening in the world right now. What's his, Venom got delayed to October, and they've already like kind of done this they put so much money into marketing for Shang-Chi, and I don't think they can just pull the plug like that because they're like only in theater. So if you look at the posters, it said only in theaters. Now the new posters say experience it in theaters, so which hints to me that they're going to put it on Disney Plus. So, I mean,
You're playing a very dangerous game, reading between the lines.
Yeah, but you know what? Here in Canada, I'm happy to watch it in a theater. I've gone back to the theater twice already. I don't know about you. I don't think you have, right?
No.
Yeah, I personally, I'm comfortable to go back into the theater and experience things. I go to this theater in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from me, just because there's no one there and the seats are recliners. So I like that experience. I mean, people.
I feel like it wouldn't be that comfortable. Just like I feel like if I were to try to get comfortable and relax, everything around me is like germ covered, disease covered. So I don't think I could get comfortable. I'd really have to Lysol everything before I sit down or something.
Oh, of course. What is it? I have
numbers in BC are going up again.
I bring these everywhere I go. I wipe down everything, like 100%. Like
nice.
Yeah. So when I went to the theater, I wiped down my seat, I wiped down my friend's seat. And, you know, there was only yesterday when I watched Free Guy, there was like maybe 10 people in the theater. Like, that's not much. And that theater could hold like 100 people. So, I mean, it's also 9:45 movie. So, but anyways, I'm comfortable going back to the theaters right now. Where I work, like I'm exposed to potential threats because of everything. Threats. Well, I mean, I could get killed just walking in my workplace. So, and I work in a gym, guys. I'm a manager. I sit down and do my work. But anyways, honestly, like I could get exposed anytime, and I'm happy to go back to the theaters. I'm happy to support things, but I know places in the world are not at that point, and I really, really wish that we could all experience things again. I forget who I was talking to. Plastic Attack. He was talking to me about the Mississauga convention that's happening in the October, and he's like, I don't know if I'm ready to go. And I was like, listen, I don't know if I'm ready to go back to conventions either. I really want to see how everything plays out, but you know,
when's Fan Expo Mini Premium, whatever, what's it called?
Fan Expo Light or something. It's something. I honestly, do you think that's even going to happen?
Who knows? They had last year's Fan Expo emails were still going out pretty close to the actual date until they finally canceled it. So, and I get it. They have a business to run.
Of course,
all these people have bought things and tables, and but
of course,
you never know.
I personally don't think it's going to happen. I think if it happens, it's going to be really, really limited capacity.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go back just yet. 100%.
I want conventions. I want the Mississauga convention to happen so I can go sell my stuff. I have so much stuff to sell.
Can we do a toy jam soon, please?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yes.
But Shang-Chi, I definitely want to try and watch it in theaters. I want more merch. Where's more merch? I don't want pop toys. I have the first wave of Legends. Maybe there's gonna be more stuff once the movie's out and there's plot twists and who's the death dealer and all that stuff. And then we'll get a Tony Leung hot toys and maybe like a Shang-Chi hot toy. Oh my god! Then I get some hot toys, and that's like the mythical stuff in the trailers. I don't know how that's going to tie in, but it looks
don't
like it's
know
a lot
either.
of fun. I want to see that stuff.
I want a Razor Fist Marvel Legends. Like
Yeah.
that character looks so dope. And did
Jacket
you watch?
Shop Disney? What jacket?
Is there one? I mean,
don't
the
know.
shipping is so expensive. And I loved. Did you watch the new trailer for Shang-Chi where she's
When
like,
he tells her how to say Shang-Chi.
yeah, I was. She's Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
No, Shang-Chi. She's
That
like,
should have been
"No,
an earlier
that's what I'm
trailer
saying."
and just really get it out there for people.
Yeah. For me, when I watched, so I hate to say this, but like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, I'm kind of iffy on the him playing the role, but like when we saw that that trailer where he's like saying his name and correcting it, I was like, honestly, this is what we need. We needed this fun. We needed this like a little bit of excitement. And going back to What If, that's what I liked about this episode. It was fun and exciting, and it brought the MCU into a different place.
Yeah, man. But I'm down for more things.
too.
Real quick,
Mhm.
when we get into the collectibles side of this episode of What If and Whatnot, HasLab Sentinel, end of September.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm super excited about that.
I'm not ready at all. This room is not ready.
Yeah, me neither. I understand why they kind of delayed the Sentinel. I understand there was some issues with it, but I'm happy we're finally getting it, and I'm happy that we're going to see what HasLab actually feels like.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping that maybe Hasbro pushes the date a little bit back so people could actually get the Sentinel in and see what it is. And if they're
Right.
still on the fence, kind of like, you know what, let's back this, because now that I have the Sentinel, damn, this is great. So
I'm sure it's crossed the minds of somebody at some point there. It's like, hey, if people can get this in time, it could really help
mhm.
the backers for Galactus to know that, you know, this is the quality, this is the type of figure that
Exactly.
like, oh shoot, you know what, people got this huge Sentinel, that's sick, I have to go get something, like, you know, ride that hype train while it's hot.
Exactly.
Hot hype train.
No, it makes
Sure.
sense.
Yeah, hot hot hype train.
The hype train.
And you know, that would have brought more people in.
Of course. And you know, I think this Galactus is going to be a great so it's going to be a great figure, but it's also going to be a great lesson for Hasbro as well. Not a lesson, but you know, it really could give them a lot of insights on the next HasLab project.
Mhm.
And being like, okay, maybe we overstepped a little bit for this project. Maybe we need something that's more, if it builds like a trooper, or maybe something that people could have multiples of, kind of thing. So for me, I'm hoping that the next HasLab could have that effect to it, because for me, I want to have something that is not only like so what's perfect was the Sentinel is that the Sentinel is, you could do multiple things with it. So if you bought 3, you have the master mold head, you could have a damaged head, you could have the tri-sentinel head, you could have a regular sentinel head. So there's a whole bunch of things with it, and that's why there's such a playability factor in the Sentinel. And I'm hoping that, you know, Galactus has that playability factor, and I really hope that Hasbro does see this for the next HasLab. If we get a Quinjet, maybe show off some, like maybe a damaged Quinjet parts, or maybe a damaged Blackbird parts, like kind of thing. So we could like actually buy a couple of these things. Like, you know, maybe someone wants a damaged vehicle or a pristine vehicle. I don't know. That's just me talking out loud about these things. But for me, I'm going to definitely back the Galactus figure. Like I've already planned out my income for the next 2 weeks, and I have the funds. I'll buy it.
Just
and
Costco chicken fingers every day.
Yes, sir. It's definitely no Uber Eats for the next couple of days, but I I really think that this is a great learning tool, and I actually wanted to ask you: are you backing the so-called HasLab Star Wars Rancor that potentially is going to be announced?
What do you mean? They already leaked it. They leaked it at Star Wars. No,
They did. They did.
I might. The Rancor does sound cool. It
I
depends.
know.
It depends. Like if it comes with the prison or whatever it is, like the downstairs of Jabba's
Mhm.
palace with the cage door and the rocks, and if there's like a huge Rancor that goes in that, I'm
Yep.
down because you can use that. Again, I'm thinking like I still take toy photography and pictures. I could use that diorama for a lot of stuff.
Of
If it's just a
course.
Rancor on its own, it's like, like what are they going to come with? The keeper guy who cries when the Rancor dies?
I mean, maybe, but I'm hoping we also get. Is it a Twi'lek, that girl, the
Yeah.
green girl?
Yeah, the
I
dancer.
hope. Yeah, hope we get her in it as well. I really want to see that.
Shark, is she like dismembered after he eats her? Does
No,
he
I
have
want
like
her
a
to.
eating, a toy action where like you can throw toys in there?
Oh, that'd be
Because
so cool.
there's a T-Rex Jurassic Park toy where no, it's Toro, the Carnotorosaurus. You can throw dinosaurs into the mouth and the belly opens and you can take them back out. My friend High School Creations was showing me that the other day.
That kind of reminds me of that shark they showed for Fortnite, where
Yeah,
you could store stuff in and put it in its mouth and it's in the stomach, which is I think is kind of cool. So I don't know. For me, I can't wait to see what we're getting with the Sentinel. I'm excited. Um, yeah.
Old Man Legend says, "What if the Sentinel is garbage?" No way, man. Bet on yourself. You're not gonna make that thing and go, "What if this
Mhm.
sucks? I don't want
I
it. I
think
don't want it out for the Sentinel." Nah, man. If you're gonna go and make a Galactus, sorry, like
mhm.
bet on yourself. You're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Jason, what's going on?
Hi,
He
Jason.
had family dinner tonight and he couldn't make it. You still have the link. If you're free, you can hop on, or you
Yes, sir.
sit sadly in your family meeting right now, just watching this video on mute with captions on. But like, I miss y'all tonight. Miss you too, buddy. But I did bring up your point earlier.
Mhm.
Cup noodles for days, right here. This is a model kit. Don't eat it.
Oh, I thought it was actually like a cup of noodles.
The toy room. The Costco chicken fingers are amazing, and the fries. My goodness.
So
Uh,
speaking of chicken fingers and fries, I have a place by my work that has chicken fingers and fries. They're the best things I've ever tasted. That's
Everywhere
why I
has
gained
chicken fingers and
so
fries.
much Corona weight because I went to this place. But shout out to Food Fight. If you've ever been in Brampton, you got to check it out.
I'm never returning to Brampton ever again, Troy. And
I
you
made
know
you
this.
come. I made you come to Brampton
Yeah, but
because
for toys, that's a different. Not for chicken fingers. All right, so
no.
Marvel Legends Disney Plus Wave 2 comes with these fantastic figures here. 6 out of the 7 are based off of Marvel What If, and you get a Build-A-Figure character who is Dan Yun, the Watcher, Watu, I love the voiceover in the beginning of the episode and at the end.
Mhm.
And I believe the actor, I think it's the
Jeffrey
guy.
Wright.
Is he the guy from Westworld? Is he
Yes,
Westworld?
he's in everything. To be
He's
honest,
Felix Leiter in James Bond. These are things that I love that
yes.
he's in.
And he's gonna be, isn't he gonna be Commissioner Gordon in the
Yes,
new Batman?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct. So these are the figures, and there's Zombie Cat.
Mm,
We haven't seen that yet, but I can just use my. There's the Zombie Hunter Spidey, which is cool because you get a full Spidey figure underneath the
mhm,
cloak, the animated head as well.
mhm. I just, now that I saw the show, I could see this whole like Disney-ification of the head, and I like that for some
Yeah,
reason. But
and this is all right. Settle down, settle down. This looks so awesome. And again, like when you show it like this,
mhm,
I know in the video, in the reveal video with the Hasbro team, they kind of hold it side by side. But
mhm.
after seeing the show, like she's tall. Eating
She's a
Chipotle
must get.
burrito bowl, that is not a money saving uh, choice of food,
No,
even though they're
burrito
delicious.
Chipotle is so expensive. But honestly, this figure is so beautiful. Like
Shield looks good. Everything looks
yeah,
good. I
like
think it's just
badass.
this. Oh, you have
Does
the
she?
shield holding C grip, and then you have the fist for
Oh,
punching. So even if you got a sword, you have to put the shield on her back, I guess.
can you put it on the other hand though? I wonder if the shield is like the other Captain America figures where it's like it has the loops where you could just kind of put it in.
I think it's the loop one.
Yeah, so
We'll
for
see.
me, I don't mind putting it on the other hand, but like I think her dominant hand is the right hand, so that's
Yeah.
where we see her wield the sword. But you know,
You can put
I
it
can
on
make
her right
do.
hand, hold the sword with the left hand, take a
Yes.
picture, mirror it.
Oh,
Done.
I
Put
like
it in her hair
that.
backwards. We have Doctor Strange Fry Supreme,
Hmm.
which is he looks so disheveled. That's what I look like after eating Fry Supreme, so that's why it's called Doctor Strange Supreme.
I like this figures for some reason. Like I really
it.
really like this.
Torensu says this shield shape and size is awesome.
Yep.
Yes. Heck yes. We have the Heist Nebula, which we
Which
have
we'll see
not
next
seen yet.
episode.
Next episode? All right.
Next
I
episode.
try not to look ahead. So I
Well,
will trust you.
sorry, but one of the reviewers I watched, she's like, she was breaking down like the next couple episodes, but like just telling us what we're in store for. Yeah, but Heist Nebula is in the next episode. So now I can understand why she has hair.
We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully.
Jason!
Send the link. Oh, he's. Didn't I
Oh, he
send
doesn't
it in
have the
group
link.
chat?
No, you send it just to me. Here, I could send it to him right now.
You got it? Okay.
I got it. Oh, I didn't. Hold on. I got it.
Mario says he's getting the whole wave except for he wish it didn't come with Sylvie. I guess he's not a fan of Loki or for some reason. Who knows? It's all good. Wishing she came with an extra head sculpt,
no.
some sort of shouting expression. Yeah. You never know. I wonder how that works. Because sometimes you see a figure re-released. Take this Omega Red, for example. It's re-released, and when they do a re-release and a redeco, it's like, hey, you know what? It's not going to be a straight reuse. Here's an extra portrait. It's like,
so when I looked at
already made, or
can I see that Red Skull? Oh no, the Red Skull, the Omega Red. So when you showed it when you were doing the live video, I really liked the figure a lot because it in the promo pics it kind of looked kind of dull and like, but when I saw it, I was like, actually, yeah, I actually really like it. Like it's really dope. And I thought the gray was just like a flat gray, but it's a silver, right?
yeah,
So I really like
slightly
it.
metallic on the border of the shoulder pads.
Yeah, it's beautiful. How is Callisto?
Callisto's great. I mean, it's that punk storm body, but she gets double knives that actually hold in her C grips. Like
I'm excited.
They're still in there from last night, so it's a good accessory. I like that.
I like that. Congrats, man. Like I'm so happy for you to like get that reveal and like now get that kind of like figure. So it's like awesome. It's dope. Oh, hello, me. Oh, Sylvie.
Hello there.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Everyone,
Jason.
Mr. Jason Lapis, who left his family to talk.
Everyone's gone to bed. It's okay. Okay, it's time. We had a big.
So I let people know. Jason usually is here when we talk about new Marvel reveals. He joined us for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's a great artist. He has a wealth of comic knowledge.
Yes, you.
And
I want to know your
non-useful
take.
things. What are some major things that you liked or did not like from this episode? I brought up your point about how, showing how the world might have changed after a female super soldier, how it affected the world.
Yeah, it could have.
Which was a very great point. What else did you?
Oh, that was great. I went in with the expectation of the show that they gave us, so I came out feeling happy because it met my expectation. I wasn't hoping for a more grown-up show. or a more, like a longer, more developed story, or something like that. I was expecting a bite-sized 22-minute Disney style Marvel take, and
Right.
they did that. So
That's exactly what it was.
yeah, it's exactly what it was. So I was really happy. I'm a big fan of Peggy. I thought she was a character that was like way better than she needed to be in that first movie. So right, she was just she was like the girlfriend character, but you could just see there was way more with Haley Atwell, and the writers gave her some meat. And every time they, did something with the character, like it got better and better and better.
Right.
And like you can see those looks she gives Steve in that movie. Like she's the one who believes in him, and you can actually feel that. So for her to get her due and be like, she was ready the whole time. Like could have been Captain Carter the whole time. So seeing her get her due was like very satisfying for me. And we've talked about the figure before, how great that costume is. So I was really happy.
Like she would have been that next person to step into that chamber for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if they hadn't been sexist, they would have chosen her to begin with. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of a neat thing to see her get her due. I really love that she pulled Excalibur from the stone. And I know they didn't explicitly say it's Excalibur, but in my mind, watching it, like, how Red Skull is collecting artifacts from mythology. So he has, in my head, he has a sword that he believes.
You think that is
so Excalibur. Whether it actually is, it is to me. Because
it's not your basic sword. There was a lot of engravings and stuff on it. So it's not just the decorative thing that she pulled out of a wall, and sliced some calamari. There's something to it. Maybe
if you're gonna have an iconic British hero who's supposed to be a symbol of the people, who can come back from the dead and all that, you give her Excalibur. Like that is part of the mythology of a British epic hero. Is you tie them into Arthurian legend.
What's the line from Monty Python where it's like, we can't have a government based on what is it? What did he call the Lady of the Lake handing out swords?
Did you call her? I don't remember.
It was a fantastic line.
Yes, it is a very good line. Hopefully, someone in the chat knows what it is.
I can look it up real quick. But
Please
here
is
a picture
great thing
posted by Mr. Ryan, who is the marketing for Hasbro Marvel, and he has the Disney Plus Wave Captain Carter and the Watsu Build-A-Figure. They're side by side with the 2-pack Peggy Carter.
Oh, dude!
That prototype shield is huge.
But yes, the sword. That's my question: is does the figure come with a sword? Because when we originally saw her, of course, it would have been a story reveal to show the sword. Mm-hmm. But is that sword that's there? I haven't read his caption. But does the sword come with the figure? We just couldn't see it in the packaging.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So then, what sword is that? And who's making third-party swords now for all of us to order? Because my Captain Carter carries a heavy sword.
Yes, sir. I think that's honestly, I think that's the Excalibur sword that we saw from before. Is it not? Maybe not. But it could be a New Legends sword. Honestly, whatever that sword that is, we need it.
Yeah,
so Ryan, where are the internet sleuths all up in Ryan's socials, guys? Come on, let's go.
Please.
I was really happy with all that stuff. I also really love how Johann Schmidt, Red Skull, was not strong enough to deal with the tentacles.
Yeah,
I
thought that was really sudden. He just
she's strong enough, right? Because she's stronger than both Steve and Red Skull, which I think is awesome. Because she is strong before she took the serum. She's a strong person.
We didn't talk about this, but I loved how in both movies, in the movie and in the show, that the Red Skull is defeated by his own things he's hunting. Right. So he hunted the Tesseract, killed by the Tesseract. Well, not killed, but transported by the Tesseract. Whoever this squiddy thingy-majiggy is, he got smushed.
Right. Like his ambition is his fatal flaw.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yoko, we talked a lot about Bucky, and when did you get When did he get his super soldier serum in the MCU?
Yes, Jason, you were talking about this.
It's ambiguous. It's ambiguous. There's
ambiguous.
The reason people think that it's while he's captured by Zola is because they make a comment. Like Steve just jumps, oh, must have been while Zola had. Like he just jumps to that conclusion, but there's no actual evidence to suggest one thing or another. Did they give him the serum after when he's captured after the train wreck? Or after he falls off the cliff from the train, or does he survive that because he had the serum? Like
exactly.
I thought firstly,
how he
let's make it really clear: it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah,
past is the past. It doesn't make a difference. But it's I think it's open to interpretation in the comic book version. And you guys, in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. In the comic book version, I was never under the impression he ever got the super soldier serum. The comic book version of Bucky, the thing that made him enhanced was the arm and the training. And it was never a serum thing. He had to be Captain America once he came back without the super soldier serum. But in the movies, they made him as strong as Steve and the metal arm. Right. It was like the combination. But while I was watching both the original movie and Winter Soldier, I was always watching for the clue. It's like when it actually happens. And it's just, Steve just goes, oh, like Zola, oh, when they did this. Like he just comes to these conclusions as he's getting information, but there's no evidence to suggest when it actually goes. And as I love to remind people, like characters in movies lie, and characters in movies also misremember or like don't always know things. So there isn't a reliable, definitive fact as to when he gets any kind of injection.
But yeah, you're right. It doesn't really affect current events as if the MCU movies are real life, but the most recent stuff. But then it kind of makes you wonder at this point.
When do you think he got it, Kev?
I don't know. The fact that he was captured, and I said this earlier, the fact that he was captured by Hydra, gets sprung, it falls down a mountain, and then gets captured again. That's that's pretty bad luck. Unless
very bad luck.
I was wondering if there was
the serum helped him survive that fall.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe it's also like a 2-part process or something, and they have to
It's a COVID vaccine.
So wait, if it was a COVID vaccine, we should all be super soldiers right now.
Yeah.
Did you guys discuss his fish and like under the sea references that he made?
The calamari.
He made 3 fish references.
Here we go. Bring out the notes. Let's see the notes.
3?
Okay, he did. He once comments that something smells like tuna. He comments that they're packed in like sardines. Yes. And there's the calamari. And now, I didn't look up as to what it was. My wife Laura was looking up for a second to see if she could find something before. But part of me was thinking that maybe it was like maybe back in the day, the Kid Bucky character kept making those kinds of silly jokes in the 1940s comics or something, and this was like a nod to that. But
maybe the writer just had seafood that day.
Maybe.
Like it's one thing to make him have 3 jokes. It's one thing to make him have 3 fish jokes.
The rule of 3. The rule of 3. If you get 3, that means there's some sort of importance behind it.
It was odd. So I thought that was.
You know what that means? Namor is incoming.
Right, that's what Marcus said. Namor confirmed.
Namor confirmed. Actually, I found where that sword is from. So that sword is actually from the armored Thanos Hercules figure. So it's this figure right there.
Yes.
If you guys can see it. So if you have that figure, it's that one right there.
Wicked.
So there it is.
Wow.
Found it.
I would love to see
his phone up to the screen.
A screen comparison between
there you go.
the one in this show and that to see how close they are, so that we can determine whether it is the best choice for us fans, us collectors.
Catching up with some of this stuff real quick. Marcus E says very minor, but I'd like it more if her suit looked more like Steve's from the first movie, like very baggy and tactical. This current suit looks very modern, and it'll fit in perfectly. And
like his
Age
suit
of
was
Ultron.
a muted blue, like it was a gray blue,
Mhm.
and visible straps that were like web
Yeah.
gear. So maybe something more like that. If they toned
Figure-
down her,
NYC Figure Fanatic says, "What if you do this every weekend to recap the What If show? What if?
Mm,
What
what
if?
if?
What if?
what if? I wonder.
What if?"
Yeah.
Terenzi says, "Looking at Captain Carter's shield, it's amazing." Yeah, is it? It's like
So
that
beautiful.
prototype one is
And
large.
saying Torensu's is saying like usually it's a washed out blue, and this might be one of those questions or one of those cases where it's like what works on a cartoon,
Mhm.
like animated, with the color palette where the skies are purpler than ever a sunset could be,
Yeah.
and fire is brighter than the fire could be. Like maybe they just went with an animation palette as opposed to a MCU live action adaptation, which this suit, would be washed out. It would be that muted gray. Let's imagine. What if?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just to me. I read it as an animated version.
Yeah, honestly, one of the things I really liked about the show was just again the animation style, but it really like the coloring was so beautiful. The just how they animate the lights and stuff.
Background.
The back, it's stunning, stunning things. And to be honest, if this doesn't win like an Emmy for like design or something, it'll blow my mind. Like, anyways, I'm a big Emmys fan and such, like like big award person. So I'm hoping WandaVision pulls out some big wins.
Yeah, I
Some
know
big award stuff.
Listen,
That food guy that makes your
That food guy. Guys, I've had a lot of issues with my pronunciation of things tonight. I apologize.
Trevor says, "Killed by his own hubris."
Red Skull, yeah,
Yes.
both times.
Yep.
Marcus, low key.
Like, just look at the difference. Look at the difference in her hair color between the two figures there on the screen.
Yeah.
So one works better in a cartoon, and one works better on, in a movie that's supposed to look like muted colors to begin with. Like when you watch First Avenger, those scenes in the past are colored to like look old world, like they're browns
Old-timey.
and greens, right? Old timey, all browns and greens, warm lighting, and blues and reds are washed.
Yep.
Anyway, fun stuff.
Like for me, like I said it before, but like the first Avengers, like it looked like it had a filter on, and like that's how I see it. Like it had like a weird like old timey filter.
Yeah,
like it was kind of like not a grainy.
No, but they
thing.
do a color saturation thing where all the Marvel movies up until, I don't know, let's just play this game. Up until maybe Guardians of the Galaxy were in like a muted, like washed out kind of colors where even the blacks aren't black. Everything kind of goes toward the gray. Oh, it's gonna be so cool.
Oh my god, Mr. Ryan Ting.
Ryan's photo. He also has these figures on hand. What's the caption here? He says, "Maybe you haven't found the right partner. The action with Captain Carter and the Hydra Stomper was thrilling. I desperately wanted more. I agree. We already knew the sacred timeline versions of Peggy and Steve were valiant and fearless. The What If variants are as well, but exhibit that bravery in different ways." Exactly. Like flipped, but they're still, it's just somebody else took the serum. They're still the Peggy and Steve Rogers that we loved. Stay who you are, not a perfect soldier, but a good person.
I have a question.
Good. You have to change it right from a good man to a good person. That's
good person.
That's well done. I want to hear Yoko's fish theory. Sorry.
Oh yes.
No. We'll.
We'll wait for Yoko. But for me, do you think that this figure could stand up with Peggy on its back, or is this like the best pose for the Stomper and Peggy?
I hope he can stand.
Do either of you guys have the Hulkbuster armor?
No.
Mm-mm.
What's wrong with you both?
I sold it.
It's hard to find.
You can come over and play with mine. It's worth it. Anyway, there's no question that at least 2 or even 3 Marvel Legends could hang on the back of that thing and it would not tip it over.
Nice.
Those big ones, if the feet are big enough, especially, like I'm hoping it comes out heavy enough.
Yeah.
But no single Marvel Legend would make the Hulkbuster tip backward. So
Yoko's comment is actually really funny, actually.
about Anthony Mackie?
Yeah. I'm looking at it, I'm like, Yoko, you got it. That was funny.
Anthony
It is
Mackie has
true.
been known to call Sebastian Stan sexy sea bass. That is
Maybe
quite
that's
a
what it
reach.
is.
I will give you your theory, Yoko.
So I haven't. I've just caught the little, the tail end of it. But Yoko has a thing for Bucky as a character, or is it Sebastian Stan, or is it all fused into one? Like, what's the?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure she'll let us know.
Okay,
Do you
because he's
recall?
awesome.
Wait, I have pictures.
Mhm.
Oh, never mind.
The answer is yes.
Kevin, I actually sent you a screen grab, so I don't know if you want to show it.
Where is it?
Our I don't know, one of our chats, one of our like 45 chats we have together.
Well, that narrows it down.
I've got a question for Yoko. Did your interest in the character of Bucky start from the movies or start from something in the comics?
The
Like
answer is
when?
yes, which means both.
No, but this is an either or. Yes doesn't work. I get it how it worked from before, but did it start from the movies or did it start from the comics when Winter Soldier was revealed? Like, was it a character thing first or a movie thing first? That's my question. For me, it was a comic book thing. I thought Bucky was always a joke. Oh, the MCU got you to read comics. Cool. You're the one person, it seems like. They always hoped that people would want to read the comic book after the movies. But you knew Sebastian Stan from Gossip Girl. Yeah, my wife and sister-in-law knew him from Once Upon a Time. Is that what it's called? Where he played the Mad Hatter.
Did
There
he
you
play the
go.
Mad Hatter in there? I remember
as
him
far as I know.
from what's that movie called? I, Tanya.
Oh yeah,
That's where I was like, oh, this is Bucky. And I was like, damn, this guy could act. Did you guys see that he's playing Tommy Lee? No, Tommy
Yeah.
Lee. Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Tommy Lee, like
the
Pam and
Pamela,
Tommy?
Yeah.
Pam and Tommy.
They,
Who's
Yeah, he
playing?
is.
Who's playing Pamela Anderson? Is
Do
it
we-
Lily?
Do we need a movie about Pam Anderson?
There is a
I
movie
don't know.
about Pam Anderson.
It's coming out, which
It's
looks
just
really
not-
good.
It's supposed to be in theaters.
Oh.
This is the screenshot that Troy sent me,
Mm-hmm.
which is I do
great.
remember this from the trailer now that you sent it. So
Dude.
there's Captain Carter talking to Doctor Strange Supreme.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
I'm
So I'm
very
happy.
happy to hear we're going to get more of her.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm happy that I'm actually excited that these characters are going to be like coming together in sort of a way, so they're not like weirdly separate like on your shelf. So like for me, like I hate I kind of like group things
me
by
too.
teams and stuff. So it's like weird to have Captain Carter. Oh wait, the Supreme guy is going to go here, and it's just like they don't flow together, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
now I'm happy that you could kind of place it together.
Definitely.
This is
So this is cool. I don't recall them. I don't remember seeing in any of the photos where it says the hello from Brooklyn or something like that.
That was
where they
so
spray
good.
painted
Yeah,
in the animation.
That's
I
great.
like that. What was it? The chest lights up in the show because they have the
The Tesseract. Like,
yeah, the Tesseract.
not even an arc reactor, just the whole,
Yeah.
the whole cube.
the whole damn Tesseract in them.
It's got an Infinity Stone. It's pretty cool.
I love it. It's like it took one hit at the end and it was like battery cut in half without the Tesseract. So it
Yeah.
really shows the technology. He had the armor there, but he had a heads up display inside. That seems
Yes.
very, very
Mhm.
advanced for
I'm trying to imagine, like I'm trying to fill in the gaps in their favor. So for instance, if you have a hotter fire, you can make harder metal. You know what I mean? You can
Okay.
smelt harder metal with hotter fire. So imagining with the power from the Tesseract, they make an armor that is harder than what a tank would be, or whatever the case is. And it's painted like a tank, but
Right.
in my mind, it's got to be a tougher. It's not iron. It's not steel. It's something, something more exciting because they have more heat, more power to build something. Because the Tesseract unlocks all sorts of potential that other technologies would be limited by. So I'm gonna just suspend my disbelief that he can run around and jump and all this stuff because of the power of the Tesseract.
Well, I think I originally planned to get multiple of these and army build them as they look badass, and I'm glad I didn't because I don't need to. which is my wallet, also thanks
Forging,
me.
yes.
Yeah, I think
It's still
honestly
necessary.
this figure is beautiful, and I loved how we get to see Howard Stark making his own armor kind of thing, and I like that storyline. And I think this figure is awesome. Though if they had the Brooklyn kind of thing on his gauntlets,
Yeah,
I would have been like, yo, this figure is amazing, like hands down top figure of the year.
it's still
I mean,
amazing.
someone could write it on it for me, so if someone's an artist, just put it on for me, write it for me. But honestly, this figure is awesome. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you should have opened to have Steve in it, but I'm fine with it. I'm fine with this figure.
Didn't we
The scrawny
see?
Steve.
Didn't we see another company make one already?
Hot Toys has one,
Hot Toys.
I believe.
Someone's gonna get the license and do a version that opens up, and it'll cost you, $150 or whatever
So
it is.
does this mean that Howard Stark was already working on a robotic suit?
Let it go. Doesn't matter.
Choice favorite song.
Let it go. Let it
No,
go.
no.
That's fine.
Um,
How did you feel about the pace of the show, given what it got through in the time that we have?
I mean, I'm gonna say like a year passed during the show. It's like that whole same with Steve in Steve's sort of montage in the middle of the second act in the first Avenger, maybe at the end of the second act in first Avenger.
His tour.
He goes through like a whole year of all those battles, which is such an exciting thing because you could just do an animated series, like one season of the Adventures of Captain America and the Howling Commandos animated style. They've got the voice cast already. Like you could do that. So to me, there was a whole year of stories that happened, for her. So I knew that it was going to be an overview.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I was okay with the pace. I could have done, honestly, like a whole season of this would be fine with me.
I think I just wanted more.
characters.
Maybe that's why to me it feels rushed. Like,
was
showing them
rushed.
blowing up a thing and then Red Skull pulling up and he's angry because another factory.
Yeah. No, it definitely was rushed because, like I said, it's covering a huge amount of time in just a few minutes. But it was just an overview, like what else? The other options are the skip part of the story, and I don't know what part of the story you don't want them to show unless you want them a two-parter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Honestly, like,
more.
of course, and I think this show is definitely just it's literally a highlight reel of the best of these characters in significant moments, and I'm not mad at it at all. And I really think if we wanted a 2-hour movie of this, it would have been a movie. So I'll take 30 minutes. I'm good with 30 minutes. I mean, remember those Justice League episodes way back when, and they're 20-minute episodes and they cram a whole thing in one episode? For me, that's how I felt about this, and I loved it. So these bite-sized nuggets of these stories, perfect.
Chef's kiss. August Photo says, is What If going to be backstories for all the characters the MCU Strange meets in the multiverse of madness? Honestly,
you imagine?
Wouldn't you? I would not. This is the kind of planning that Marvel has in them, like the Marvel Studios. It's just like, we're going to tie all of these together. That's how it was. Iron Man, Thor, Cap, and then Avengers movie. It's not like DC where it's like, here's Justice League, and then here's a movie for these characters now. So
my theory is, what if we see some of these characters before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, aka Spider-Man No Way Home?
We'll see. We will see.
Obviously, they're not going to be able to do Star-Lord, T'Challa, but that might be really fun to have some of these characters return, whether it's even in the background. You know how there's always those Easter eggs. It's like he's looking through all these different portals from the multiverse or the windows in, and we see just one shot of, in the background, one of the characters doing something that we saw from What If. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chuck says, I was kit bashing a skinny Steve 5 minutes into the episode. Nice. That's cool. And that's
is he sharing what parts he was using? I'm interested.
Show us let us know your recipe.
Yes, sir.
Are there any characters in MCU Marvel Legends that are of a small buck? Other than like Miles, which is
I'm
not.
gonna use my NECA Home Alone Kevin McAllister. I use that for a teen Peter Parker. It's the same clothes. Thomas Brock, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Star Marvel 76 says, if the first Iron Man was made in the 40s in this universe, what does Tony's Iron Man look like?
That's a crazy thought.
But Jason says, don't worry about it.
No, that's
Remember, this is a kid's show, Kevin. This is a kid's show.
Oh, it's so much fun to think. And then, like, also if Tony's dad sticks around longer, right?
Yeah.
Like, so if the whole Winter Soldier thing
There's
doesn't
no
happen,
Winter Soldier.
and then so Stark doesn't. Let's just say Stark doesn't die. Does he protect Tony from ever going anywhere near that world because he knows the evils of it, and Tony never gets to inherit the company, so he never goes down the Iron Man path.
He's still the billionaire playboy.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's still a tech genius, right? But he doesn't go down the route of the Iron Man hero path because I don't know. I'm just talking spitballing here.
We're like doing our own what ifs. I love
what
it.
ifs.
I love it. That's the potential of something like this.
What if this episode you're talking about potentially is a what if episode in this season?
Because we do see one where Tony walks away with Killmonger after not getting captured, so he doesn't ever become Iron Man.
Yes,
at least not in that way. Yeah,
I love that part. He was making flying cars in the first Avenger. Yeah, he was trying to.
Just prototype.
It powered down.
Yeah.
What if Howard Stark never died? And this was like these are like the titles that you would see on the What If comics.
Yeah,
right? It was just a question like this.
But I love how there's like infinite possibilities of what if stories, and like what if there's like so much. Like one little sentence from anything, one little thing could change everything and make another story. So I love that we're getting these what if stories, and it's just a one little tiny thing that sets off a huge
ripple effect.
We played this game in my car when we were on long drives with my kids. We play both the Marvel What If game and the Star Wars What If game, and we have tons of
writing prompts. I really like it.
Writing prompts, and then also on walks home from school after a long day, we do these writing prompts. The What If game. It's tons of fun. There's so many fun things like that you wouldn't think of that someone else comes up with. So.
For sure.
Yeah. What if Kevin?
This one story isn't it? Like anyone else can grab and take it in a different direction, and it's still a fun story because it's not the original.
Yeah. What if that grenade that the Colonel threw wasn't a dud?
Maybe that's how we get zombie Captain America.
Jason. What if Tommy Lee Jones threw a live grenade and then said whoops? And then it just cuts to black, the end.
Oops. I feel like it's like a Tommy Lee thing he would do, because that man does not care about many things.
No. Or what if the bully at the beginning of the movie also beats up Bucky in the alley? Both just getting
Can we just can we just sit here and do a whole bunch of what ifs from like all the different jump off points from the first Avenger?
There's so many.
They're just ridiculous.
What if Steve got accepted to military on his first attempt?
Yeah. And he just dies on the front, and that's it.
Right? Yeah. Oh man, this is so grim.
Most of these things are going to end in some morbid death, but
yeah, of course.
Thomas Brock says the Watcher said he can't interfere, but in a commercial for the show, you see him using his powers.
Right.
Can't wait for that.
Well, there's an old, someone in the chat can, find the reference for me, but there's an old saying about, you don't show a gun in the first act unless you're going to bring it back in the third. Like, so you don't say off the top, I never interfere. That's like my one rule. And then you have him never break it. So there's going to have to be a scenario where like the universe ends because of the things where he'll need to interfere.
But we've also know that in the comics, the Watcher regardless of he says I don't interfere, he interferes in everything.
Yeah.
Like he does have a hand in things.
Yeah.
So
That's funny. I just picture after 6 episodes, someone's looking at Watu. He's like, "You gonna do something?" No, I said I don't interview. That's it.
But that's what the Joker's for, right? He's here to make you break your one rule. So he'll push. His buttons will get pushed somehow. It'll be interesting to see. What if they had given the super soldier serum to what's his face? What was the guy's name? The candidate who was sort of top of the group. But he was a big jerk.
He's the guy with the cross eyes from the Adam Sandler from The Water Boy. I think that's him.
Is that really?
I think so.
What's this guy's name? Hold on. I'm
Queen Victoria. he always has a
why are these all Adam Sandler movie people? That's like this is my wealth of knowledge. This is my movie knowledge, by the way. It's all Adam Sandler movies from the 90s.
We've been literally talking about Adam Sandler movies all day. What was his name? Was Hodge.
Yes.
So Gilmore Hodge.
Gilmore Hodge.
All right, go look it up.
So if he gets to be nice, it looks like the Thriller jacket.
Can I just say
the Thriller jacket?
If he gets to be Captain America, you get like the version from the Falcon Winter Soldier show.
Right?
You get a guy who becomes unraveled.
Kevin, are you going to buy that?
Shang-Chi jacket for adults. Shang-Chi and the Legend of 10 Rings, $60. Master the style. Oh, they said master the style? Master the style of powerful Shang-Chi with his red and black jacket featuring an all-over embossed diamond pattern and pieced accents inspired by the icon on his armor in Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. No, this is definitely... Oh, this is a nice shirt. I like that.
Get that one. And it's cheap.
It's $20 cheaper where I can have a full jacket.
Yeah, but that jacket, do you really like that jacket?
No, I don't. I like that they're called, like, in the commercials now, it says, like, the Marvel Legend. It's like, dude, just cross over, just put toys in the ad. That's it.
And that's not in US. That's not in Canadian dollars. It's in US dollars, right?
This jacket looks red. It is red. It's supposed to be red, right? More zippers.
It's like cherry. No, not cherry red. It's like watermelon red. So that's what I look at. Well, that's what I see. What else?
I'm not gonna wear this and dress up as Shang-Chi.
What about the other one? That crew neck looks really good.
Did you guys like in the new commercial where they're like making the joke about what's the female character's name? He doesn't pronounce his name properly. Katie. Or Katie's like calls him Shang-Chi, like she doesn't, and he's like, no, it's Shang-Chi. There's like a G. Like that's what I said.
Yeah.
I think Simu is good for that kind of scene. He's like Shang-Chi.
I had a good laugh about that.
I really wish that they showed us that earlier. I said it before, but like I really want to see that kind of humor, because I don't think was there any really humorous parts in the first couple trailers. I think it was really like serious.
No, it's just the very end where it's like where the train scene or the streetcar scene, and Awkwafina was, I don't know, she has one of those one-liners where like the bus got cut in half. But it's not as comical in that first trailer. But yeah, this is a cool pattern.
You could save with Rakuten.
Yes, 1% cashback. Or honey. This video is sponsored by... No, I don't have that kind of...
Imagine. Guys, this video is sponsored by Honey. Honey is an app that you add to your Chrome extension. Oh, gosh.
I'll just use that. I'll just steal it from somebody else's video. Well, I mean...
Any other good what-if ideas from you guys?
No. And you know what? It's such a good idea. Should we just each come up with, after the next episode, come up with 3?
Let's do it.
I think it's a little too easy.
It's really too easy.
Okay, Mr. Comic Man.
There's so many things. Come on. You just pick anything that happened in those movies and then just shift one thing, and it's...
But the ones you picked were funny.
Well, thank you.
They were.
The grenade. You've thought about that before, haven't you?
Like I like the ones that just like it ends the entire movie. Just that scene, like then just great.
Oh,
what if the movie just didn't happen?
Right.
It was so bright, my brother returned it. Oh, that's too bad. because then you can get that, and then you can go get the Hasbro whatever staff toy from Toys R Us. Go buy that.
I don't know if you guys are into still reading comics. Just want to throw one out at you if you never, because tomorrow's Free Comic Book Day, by the way. So
Yes,
you
it
can
is.
go to your local and get a bunch of really awesome free comics and pay for a little bit here or there of something else. But if you have not been reading Beta Ray Bill and you
Remember
like
you talking
comics
about
at
that.
all, oh my gosh, 5-part series. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I know how to count.
5-part series about a character that pretty much no one cares about some of the time. Yeah, there's 5 fingers, Troy. Thank you for. I love your.
Five. The fifth.
It just ended like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Phenomenal action-packed comic book series that is just so original and tons.
Oh,
tons
since
of
we're
fun.
just all holding comics that we own,
Is that special for some reason? That book?
this
saw it
is
in
Avengers Tech on Avengers,
Yeah.
illustrated by a friend of the channel, Chamba, and this is the Chamba variant cover.
That's
Go
insane.
check it out. It's
That's
so
awesome.
awesome. And super happy for that dude.
Yeah,
This is
that's
finally
phenomenal
out.
to hear. That's really cool. And you picked it up at Heroes World.
Yes, indeed. Purchased at Heroes World, a local comic book store.
Well done. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, but there's the what ifs. They're in trades. Like you can get a bunch of what ifs and just thumb through it and have a really good time just playing that game. You know.
And you know what this opens up now that I see on IG, like people are doing toy photography, like specifically what if, and you're just making stuff. It's just, and I feel like that's what toy photography already is. You have the ability making all these people who make all these figures in the same scale. You know, if you get your Marvel, Power Rangers, all that stuff, you can make your own what if already.
Totally. I know that you want to end because it's time. But Troy, you were talking before about grouping your toys together. And what did you guys do with your Fox, X-Men, Marvel Legend stuff? Did you put them with your MCU? Did you keep them separate? You didn't get any? What happened? So I see Professor X there.
I have Professor X and Magneto with my assorted comic and like duplicate characters.
Right.
And then I have Wolverine with the Wolverine shelf. I have Deadpool and Domino just random somewhere. It doesn't make any sense at all, actually.
You didn't get Cable? He's a fantastic figure. He's really good looking. Like it looks great.
Yeah, no, I didn't get it.
Okay. So the reason I say this is because my MCU shelf is one shelf in time. Like it starts with Steve and Peggy and Tony getting the suit and it moves across.
Oh, are they just tableaus? Are they all posed in different scenes?
They're kind of grouped together as if
no.
As you go across, you see the journey of Steve and Tony, like pretty much and Thor from end to end, and all the kind of other characters that are sprinkled. And I've been trying to find a spot to see where do I put Thor? Where do I put Wolverine? Where do I put Professor X? Is there a way to does it thematically fit in somewhere? Is there a gap in the?
No.
If in the 90s or in the 2000s, what was going on? Maybe the X-Men were the heroes in 2001. And they're just. It takes up until 2008 for there to be Iron Man. Anyway, but I'm just talking. But yeah,
honestly,
I love my shelf. It just when I look at it, I just relive the movies as I look across. It's a kind of a fun vibe.
I wish I had a shelf like that.
Why don't you?
wish. Well, I sold all my MCU stuff.
Oh, well then again,
that's right.
You can come over and play with Brian.
Okay,
yeah.
But I mean, for me, I only have two. One of them is probably gonna get sold. One Fox figure, and that's the Deadpool figure.
It's
the Fox
amazing.
Deadpool is
fantastic,
incredible,
an amazing figure.
Yeah,
I don't have it on display. It's in a bin. So, for me, if it's a figure I really like, and I kind of have it out of a display, so I'll just take it out of bin and play with it, pose it around for a bit, and then put it away. There was I don't know if you guys knew, but Squirrel Girl hit a really record low on Amazon. so I picked it up to buy my mom an iPad cover. $29. So it was really cheap. So
Wait, so
I was,
Squirrel Girl was the filler item?
yeah, she was.
Damn.
Because the iPad cover was like $10.
Damn.
So I was like, I need to fill something. So I've been like playing with a Squirrel Girl figure, like an extra Squirrel Girl figure. So which I'll probably sell at Toy Jam. But hey, if you want it, you can have it.
Good luck to you.
I still have it
there
in
you go.
package over there.
My daughter likes Squirrel Girl.
So
What if
yeah,
Mark
I have
Wahlberg
it.
took the shot in the first Thor movie.
Yeah, like when he's up in
Oh,
in his first appearance
Ooh.
there.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
the Raptors.
he would have
Well-
hit him and he would have died, and that would have been the end of the film.
That's the end of the movie.
So should we do? So for the next stream, should we do 3 what ifs for the episode that just passed, or for the new episode?
The new episode.
Sure, but you mean from the original movie?
Hmm.
So like
For whatever,
when you
whatever.
say so when we do next time,
Yeah.
we each have 3 what ifs based on the movie that episode was based on.
If yeah,
Well,
You said it's gonna be
technically,
Guardians.
it'd be 2 movies, right? It would be Black Panther and Guardians.
Okay,
Kind of.
and then should we make it a contest? That
I don't know if I have time to watch 2 movies between
You have to
the
watch
Wednesday
movies.
and the Friday.
You've seen the movies enough, you know.
I don't remember them enough.
Yeah,
Get off
I haven't
the
watched
internet. You don't remember Guardians of the Galaxy and Black Panther?
I remember
Guardians.
Black
I
Panther.
do.
Black Panther I've watched multiple times.
Yeah.
I don't think I
So-
did for
What time of the
Guardians.
year?
I haven't watched Black Panther in a while because like I have like this. So don't make fun of me, guys. This is another thing. This is another Troy thing, where like when an actor passes, I feel weird about watching their
Yeah,
stuff again.
okay.
So that's like something that I
Dude, this is his last. Like this is
I
Chadwick,
know.
like his
But-
last
Yeah.
Marvel entry.
I felt that way. I felt that way about after the actor who played Tony Soprano died. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't watch Sopranos for a while. It took me a couple of years
Yeah.
to get back to it.
Yeah. So like for me, like I can't watch like
Yeah,
Robin Williams movies.
dude, you don't have to.
Yeah.
That's a weirr Troy thing. I think that's a pretty normal human being
Yeah.
thing.
I mean,
where
I'll be-
if you care about something. It's
Yeah.
You have feelings, and that's
Yeah.
probably a good thing, dude.
Troy's like, this is gonna be weird,
Oh.
but I have feelings.
I'm human.
and-
I have feelings, guys, but I'll watch this episode, no problem, because like
Yeah.
voice acting is different than actually seeing
Sure.
the person, kind of thing. So it's not going to affect me that much. So like I don't know. I always get like sad. Like Mrs. Doubtfire is like my favorite movie,
Sure.
and it's so hard to watch that movie without kind of like going, oh, sad.
For
But,
me, the Matt Damon one would the scenes where he really has to flex his acting chops would be. That might be hard to watch. You know what I mean? What if Troy had feelings? It'd be a beautiful world. Let's go back to One Six Shooter and
Can I borrow a
Seinfeld being
feeling?
the FF. The assistant editor's month reference is a good deep cut from early childhood. There was a moment in Marvel history in where they branded all the comics for a month, assistant editor's month, and every comic book did something kind of weird and kooky that month
Really?
on the cover and in the interiors. For instance, I believe the Avengers went on David Letterman, and assistant editor's month, I believe the Marvel team up was Galactus and Aunt May.
oh yeah, I remember that.
Got super, like she got a golden, she's like the golden granny kind of costume. And again, I might be mixing this up with something else, but that was all like assistant editor's month. It was crazy. Was that the one when Spider-Man goes on SNL, or was that actually older? I think the Spider-Man or the SNL issue, the famous one, is from the end of the 70s as opposed to the early 80s, because they actually go with samurai John Belushi's samurai character.
Oh, here we go.
Pardon me.
More bad English.
Golden oldie. Yes, the golden oldie. Exactly.
I'm gonna go find my What If comics after this. I think
But
I
that
have
wasn't a what if. I think it was a Marvel team up.
Do you
No,
know
I'm
what,
saying I have
Kevin?
some What Ifs that I'm going to
I-
go.
I think like just talking about this kind of inspired me to go to Gotham Central tomorrow and just like check it out. Just
Yeah.
kind of like see what's up. Like I kind of want to read a comic now.
Yeah, you
Like
should.
I haven't read it.
I kind
I've
of.
read it.
That's adorable. Is it
Well,
because
I have-
everyone
I-
was grabbing comics from behind them and you didn't have any around you?
No, I didn't have anything with me.
There's
So
some.
I went to a comic book store today, but I didn't buy anything. So
Which one did you go to?
well, I bought this, but I went to Comic Warehouse in Brampton.
Right.
Yeah.
Have
Do
you
they
been
still have
to
the mall
Comic
location
Con
or
before?
just the?
Hmm?
Do they still have the mall location?
Oh no, that went out of business. Well, they
Oh.
closed it.
Yeah.
Just I think because of like COVID and stuff, they like shut it down. But like
Safety.
they moved everything into that warehouse, and that warehouse is like they renovated, so now it's like 2 floors. So the
Oh, there's-
second floor is all, yeah. So it's like really cool where it's like now it's like omnibuses. Anyways, big collectors thing, comic book things lining the shelves.
Oh my god.
This has
Troy,
not been a great episode for me in speaking.
Have you been to Gotham Central before?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Let's
like
go.
their retro, not retro, but like their the candy from all around the world section.
Especially U.S.
Yes.
Right. They
So
get some amazing American cereals that shouldn't be
That are full of sugar.
that are full of like novelty cereals they're really tasty.
yeah, I'm excited to go there, look at the Marvel Legends, like shop around, maybe pick up like a trade paperback. Like I want the new like Runaways trade paperbacks. So I'm hoping I find those. So then next week I could have a comic in my hand going, oh, and yes, like a library. My
belong.
goodness. So yes, I belong.
You also
Let's
meet
go.
some creators there. I believe that Jason Lowe is going to be there,
Yes, he is.
who is appearing on Unboxing Thursday. When?
August 19th. Is that
So-
next Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday. Thanks for the plug. Very smooth, by the
So
way.
you're welcome.
Oh,
When you see Jason Lowe, you tell him you're friends with Kevin from Toying Around, and you can say that you're friends with me from this, and he knows both of us. So there you go. And he's
Yeah.
an action figure collector and a great comic book artist as well.
So there's going to be a Marvel Voices Identity book coming out on the 26th, where it features like a bunch of Asian Marvel superheroes, like different short stories, and Jason is an artist on one of those stories.
As well, Jason got to do Jamie Madrox's stuff, Multiple Man, which
Yes.
he's been like vying for I don't know, like 8 years or something like that. He's been cosplaying as Multiple Man.
Yeah.
Like,
really?
he's so
There
into
are
it.
articles. It's like they show him cosplaying as Multiple Man, and the headline would be like from cosplaying to whatever, like drawing this character in Marvel Comics.
Yeah, he's like achieving his dreams. It's wonderful. It's a really nice time for you to go and say hi to him and meet him. And he's a super, super nice guy. He puts together the Mississauga Comic Expo every year. That's like
Does he?
his festival that he put out at Mississauga Library.
Is that what we were talking about earlier, or is that a different thing?
Different thing.
Different thing? Okay.
Yeah, MCX, it was usually in the fall, but I don't think there is one this year. But Jason was like the driving force behind that. Yeah, he's a super nice guy. He also like action figure customizer, Star Wars.
Yeah,
Ooh.
collector,
Huge
customizer.
Star
He made
Wars.
a custom of Carson Teva,
Yeah,
which is where I first saw him.
Didn't I see that custom a couple like online sometime this week or
Yeah.
something?
Possibly.
and he got it to Paul. Like he
Yeah.
went to his home and like handed it to him, and the two guys met. It was really
Oh wow.
it's a really sweet
Shout out
moment.
to,
Like, he's a super good guy.
Shout out Lord Drew 360 for the follow on Twitch. Just wanted to shout that out real quick because
Oh, that's my friend.
oh perfect.
That's my Pokemon Go friend. Hi,
So-
Lord Drew.
Yes, hello. Thank you for watching and following. Yeah, so Jason's he's a nice dude, and I like that. You know, like I always say, people who collect, we all have our different day jobs and do awesome stuff. So I'm excited to chat with him and his journey, and like you said, getting into Marvel recently, and you know, he's collecting. He's been showing me stuff that he buys and piles of stuff, his dreams of what kind of displays he wants to make. So it's going to be pretty cool to chat about that next Thursday. What else is going on? Today was the season finale of Bad Batch, and Monday will be the last episode of Bad Batch Case of the Mondays. So come join myself, Yoko, and Paul. It's also Paul's birthday on Monday. So come, I'll be right here. YouTube, youtube.com/toyingaround, twitch.tv/toyingaround. Subscribe, hit the notifications. You don't want to miss these upcoming episodes. Sounds like a lot of fun. And that's me very poorly selling it to you. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But I would love to have everyone come along for the ride. So tomorrow, Free Comic Book Day, Gotham Central. I'm going to bring the kids. I think Free Comic Book Day really, in my household, worked really well because I grabbed all of like the Archies and DC superhero girls and stuff for my daughter, and she's like really into comics now. So,
What time are you going?
I don't know.
Because if you're going, we could swap Ultrons.
Oh, I already opened mine. It's okay.
No, it's okay. I don't mind taking the little thing that you have. I don't mind. And I have a leg for you somewhere.
Yeah, you have a bath piece for me.
I do.
Afternoon, after lunch, I think.
Does anyone need this?
What's it from?
It's a Falcon cap.
From who?
Wanda.
I have that.
Oh.
Maybe.
But I don't know. Do I have anything else for you? I feel like I have things for you.
Mr. Hyde piece from
That's all?
AI Iron Man.
Yeah, I have Pokemon Go for a bit tomorrow, so we'll see what time I get down there.
Is that an event, or you just need to?
No, I have it's a big event tomorrow. It's EV Community Day, where you catch all the EVs. So if you see me tomorrow, I'll probably be playing Pokemon Go at the same time. But yeah, no, it's a community day. I'll play a few hours tomorrow, but I'll definitely want to check out Free Comic Book Day. I kind of want free comics.
Yeah, you'll get free comics.
I'll probably head there around like 2.
Okay, I'll try for that too. Jason,
okay,
you
awesome.
busy tomorrow?
I'm gonna try and hit my local. I have some family commitments.
Okay,
that's okay.
That's a shame.
So I'll try and hit Planet X and see if they have anything at all there. I don't know what they're gonna have, but I also have some like my weekly books to buy anyway. So
cool.
Batman 89. Kevin, you know about this? This
Batman
is like
89. It's a comic that takes place in the world of 89 Batman.
So number 1 came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that's something that you would enjoy perhaps. So
I forgot to pick it up when I was at Heroes World.
I'm gonna get my copy and we'll see.
I would be interested if they had like alternate variant covers, maybe like different artwork.
There's 2 at least.
There's 2? All right.
Yeah.
Mackerson says so many evolutions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means.
There's like 8. Anyways, I have a question. Do they sell card sleeves there? Like magic sized?
Central?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I need it for these.
I've never looked. I've only been there maybe 3 times, 4 times, and I for card stuff.
I'll check.
We'll see.
I need to go to a comic book store tomorrow anyways.
It's going to be a mission for me to get out there, especially with the kids. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and make it though, for sure.
Even if you have to go later, I'm okay with going later. Just let me know.
Marcus says, wonder if there's any Power Rangers related stuff happening for tomorrow for Free Comic Book Day. You can usually go online. They, I think Diamond or whoever lists all of the books that are available for Free Comic Book Day. You should be able to find a list online. But speaking of Power Rangers, you know how they're releasing new artwork every week for Power Month? Today's artwork is from David Nakayama, who does a lot of the box art for Marvel Legends. He drew Lord Draken unmasked, so it's Tommy in the Draken outfit
check that out.
Playing with Hasbro Power Rangers inside the command center, and then Ranger Slayer Kimberly unmasked is in the background. It looks so nice. It's such a cool picture. I wanted to buy the print, but it's only ships to the US, so I gotta ship it to my US address. Doesn't ship to Canada. But go check it out. He's already an awesome artist. Go to Power Rangers Instagram.
Power Rangers has its own Instagram.
You're very good at social media. But I think that about sums it up for episode 1. I think we're pretty excited for episode 2 and to see if the rest of the action figures or whatever comes from the show makes us want the action figures more or less from the Disney Plus wave that we saw. And Jason, thank you for joining us.
It's a
What have you
pleasure.
got? What have you got going on? If people want to see your comics,
So much stuff. I'm working on 2 comics at the moment. 3 comics at the moment. You can follow me at Jason Lapidus on Instagram or Facebook. I have a Thor comic kind of coming out in bi-weekly drops.
yeah, I'm very interested in that. By the way,
Thanks, man. So it'll eventually get published as a single issue, but I'm just dropping 1 page every 2 weeks through a comic book collective. But you can just follow on my Instagram and you'll find it there. Every second Sunday I'm dropping a new page, and it's tons of fun to make a Thor. It's not Marvel's Thor. It's just Thor. It's my Thor, and it's a kind of an all ages fun action romp. And
I like that.
He's gonna basically get his code. It's an adventure that pushes him to find the limits of how far he'll go to keep a promise, and he goes far. Like
awesome.
He gets pushed hard. So that's a lot of fun. As well, I have the comic book I'm regularly working on called Group of 7. And the latest run on Group of 7 is called Peregrines. So this new issue came out in May, and I'm working on number 8 as we speak, which is the second part of Peregrines. And you can get that, again, go to at Jason Lapidus on Instagram.
And those are female heroines in wartime.
Yeah, 20th century wartime female heroines. Like I have a soft spot for. So yeah, it's a fun one.
Jason has a type.
There you go. That's it for me.
Awesome, man. Great stuff coming out from you and your camp.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Troy, what's going on? Pokemon tomorrow? What else?
Pokemon. I kind of announced it last week. Kind of got sidetracked, but you saw what I'm giving away, my big giveaway coming soon. You saw everything.
You crazy.
Yeah. So
this is not a joke. I've done some giveaways on this channel, and the stuff that this guy has, I'm just like, I want to get in on it. All right.
Yeah.
So
there's
subscribe to his YouTube.
Please do. There are some great things I'm giving away, and I want to make sure that like everyone who follows me on Instagram and everyone who follows my journey gets something out of it. So I want to get back to our community. So why not do a giveaway? So I partnered with Spooky Barn Toys. You probably see me talk about him a lot, but I want to make sure that you guys get something. Follow me on Instagram. There's still things that haven't been revealed. FYI, a huge Star Wars figure-ish thing that is going to be unlocked soon. It's going to be so it's going to be a tier kind of thing. No, not really. But
stretch goals.
It's going to be a stretch goal, definitely. But
if I can give away this amount of stuff, then I'll give away this even more.
Exactly. I might have bought another thing for a giveaway this week that might go for something else. So yeah, I haven't revealed it just yet because I'm still working on it, still working on the images, but just let me tell you, it's big. I'm hoping people will love what I'm doing. I'm very happy to do this content and helping everyone with just finding figures, getting figures, promoting stuff. You can find me on Instagram at Troy Collects Toys right there. You can find me on YouTube. And that's basically all I have right now.
Fantastic.
Kevin, I have the follow-up to the question of if there's any Power Ranger related stuff. There is not a Power Rangers free comic book tomorrow.
Awesome.
There are lots of others. If you just go to freecomicbookday.com.
There you go.
You can look at there's a Trailer Park Boys comic tomorrow. And many others, but not one from the Power Rangers. Anyway.
Doesn't Marvel usually do like put out a comic that kind of ties into like the new event kind of thing?
It would make sense. This is basically advertising, right? Give them a little taste, get them hooked.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity to get new people in. They're doing some Star Wars stuff. There's an Avengers, Hulk #1, kind of is what it's called. IDW is doing Star Wars. I don't want to read through the whole list. Like
IDW is doing Star Wars?
There is an IDW Free Comic Book Day Star Wars High Republic Adventures. Yes.
Oh,
what?
Yes,
Why is it ID?
because that's just what's happening. I can't explain to you because they have a license to do that for whatever reason. Maybe it's in cooperation with
Marvel?
Marvel's also doing Spider-Man Venom #1. And there's so much.
Whoa, they have FCBD merch now. There's pins. I want pins.
If you guys are into Red Room by Ed Piskor, there's like an exclusive
I want
one of
pins.
those.
I want mini mates. No, I don't need mini mates.
I want those.
Oh,
There's
look,
so much.
Playmates is doing another set of Retro Turtles. What a surprise. But yo, check out your local comic book shop for Free Comic Book Day. If you're like Troy, you haven't been into comics for a while, pick up something new. It'll get the creative juices rolling and support your local comic book shop. While you're in there, you can grab some stuff, but take a look around. Hopefully there's something that catches your eye. Support your local comic book shops. This is a huge event for them as well. So make sure you give that a chance and support. I'm sure comic book stores have had some struggles. I can't speak for anyone because I don't own a comic book store, but during a pandemic and if you haven't been open for a while, it definitely impacted small businesses and whatnot. So this is a huge opportunity. So go support. Anything to add to that? Did I get it right the first time? Yes. And on
Support your
that
local
note,
LCS.
Does the back of your shirt say nope, 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 nope?
Yeah, when I'm walking away from you, it says nope. Support your LCS. Buy some TPBs, and that's all I got.
The
For
omnibuses.
FCBD.
The omnibuses on the shelf is stuff.
I will see if you guys want to see more of the Marvel Legends 5-pack Wolverine. Check out my Unboxing Thursday episode with Kyle Wadaga from yesterday, also on the channel. I'm hoping to find some time this weekend to do a review of these amazing figures that I opened yesterday. They're literally on the desk in front of me right now. And apart from that, I will see you on Monday for Bad Batch Case of the Mondays. It will be a fun episode. I think it should be a good one, as Chamba says. And on that note, it should be a good one. On that note, I think we're done for tonight. I hope everyone has a good night. If you somehow are still watching, or you found this video later on, you're still watching right now, I think that means you kind of like it. I hope you're subscribed. If not, that's it. Very, very suggestive. Go. And thank you. We love TV. We love toys and comics. Keep toying around. Peace. Good night.